Medical consultants in England have their official strike ballot going on as we speak, due to conclude on the 27th of June. Just as with the junior doctor ballots, this one has to be carried out by post under UK trade union law, and this time orange envelopes have been dropping through the letterboxes of the most senior doctors in the workforce. Quoting Dr. Vishal Sharma from the BMA Consultants Committee, after 15 years of real terms pay cuts, the government's commitment to enter talks about how to restore consultants' pay and reform the DDRB is long overdue. Both doctors and the NHS bear the scars of the broken pay review process. Unless these issues are fixed, the NHS will continue to hemorrhage talent and essential expertise, leaving patients without the highly skilled doctors they need to care for them. Now, it's important to understand that medical consultants represent the hardest hit group in the entire public sector by pay cuts following austerity, with pay down approximately 35% since 2008-2009. That means effectively that they're working up to a third of the year, 4 months, for free relative to their consultant colleagues in 2008-2009. And not forgetting, of course, that there will be a number of consultants who were consultants in 2008 and 9 who are still consultants now. They're earning 35% less in real terms than themselves 15 years ago. They will have watched their pay erode in real time. Now, just as I explained in this video up here about the maths of the junior doctors strike ballot, the junior doctors 26.1% pay decrease will take an approximately 35.3% pay restoration in order to undo and bring those doctors back to zero. Now let's do the same calculation for consultants. Hold on to your seats. For a 35% pay decrease, you need a 53.8% relative increase in your pay in order just to bring you back to where you started. And to put some maths to it, I've got the figures in front of me. This would take a new consultant on £88,364 today to £135,904, a very large chunk of which would simply disappear back to the Treasury in tax anyway. To place this into the wider context of the NHS, elective waiting lists are currently sat somewhere hovering above the 7 million mark, and consultants represent the largest portion of the workforce that is able to get through that elective wait backlog. So any form of industrial action that is taken anywhere in the NHS, including by junior doctors, nurses, consultants themselves, all of these things ultimately will build up those elective waiting lists further and harm Rishi Sunak's pledges to bring those waiting lists down. Now, there's a couple of key differences here looking at the consultant strike situation compared to the one for junior doctors that we've seen thus far. The first thing that we've noticed, obviously, is that the government got round the table with the consultants really very quickly compared to with the junior doctors. And an offer was also made very quickly. We don't at this point in time know what that offer was. We may never know what offer was made in the closed room, but the negotiating team deemed it unacceptable, and thus we have moved towards strike ballot. And again, when we're thinking about the form of industrial action that consultants might take, looking back at the BMA press release from March, the form of strike action we're asking members to vote on would deliver Christmas Day levels of care. This would ensure that emergency care would continue to be provided, but elective or non-emergency work would need to be cancelled. It is likely that action would be for 1 or 2 days at a time. And this is again an important distinction, because it's possible for junior doctors like myself to take action in the NHS because other groups like consultants are there to pick up the slack and cover for us. It is not possible for consultants to do that, especially on large scales, and by my estimation and understanding, there is only actually one staff group in the NHS, and that is the SAS specialist role, the other senior decision maker doctor role, that could cover for a consultant in their absence. They are, I think, the only group that would be capable of providing a like-for-like service, and they are very, very small in number. The bottom line is the consultant workforce in the NHS cannot be replaced, and therefore they are not able to do a full withdrawal of care. Emergency services could not be maintained. And this so-called Christmas Day staffing or bank holiday staffing, or whatever phrase you want to use, it essentially means that no elective activity will be going ahead. Care will continue for those that are already in hospital, but elective routine arranged clinics, routine arranged surgeries, all of that stuff will stop. And now I'm going to round out this video by saying something that I do vehemently believe, but something that will probably not make me very popular. And that is that NHS consultants in the UK are vastly underpaid for what they do. The reason this won't be popular is that medical consultants are thought of as an example group of people that are highly paid. And the problem with this is that they are relative to the UK median salary. And that is the problem with all of this. I've said this time and time again, but this is not an indication that UK consultants are paid fairly or paid well. It's that everyone else is paid badly. The UK is generally a low-wage economy, especially when you're thinking about skilled labour. Consultant salaries, which range from just over £88,000 a year for a newly appointed consultant to just £119,000 after 19 years of NHS service as a consultant. That is laughable, especially when you take a second to reflect on the time, the training, the skills, the sacrifice that it takes to become a substantive consultant in the NHS. For the training and the responsibility that your consultant is holding, I genuinely believe those wages are laughable to the point of being insulting. If you're an NHS consultant watching this video for whatever reason and you're not yet a member of the BMA, you must join before the 15th of June if you wish to participate in this strike ballot. As ever, you can strike without being a member of the BMA or any union at all, but you would not have the legal backing of that union if trusts try to play anything funny. We all know that NHS trusts are not above funny business when it suits them. So thank you very much for watching, take care, and I will see you next time.